not me, man. It's probably you. Shit. Hopefully the restart will fix that shit.
Yeah, we did restart the stream. Please let me know on the stream if the lag is fine and if shitty sounds fine.
Okay, test. I should probably like try to do this just to fuck with people. Like I'll take.
uh, oh god. uh,
Well, 13 should probably be the first map. Well, yeah, they have decided. Okay, so the stream has been restarted. So guys, please tell me if I sound good or not.
yeah,
Anyone at all?
we haven't really seen any comments so far, so I'm just gonna assume that you're fine.
Yeah, lack of negative comments can be assumed as none, like as a positive comment. So yeah, right on. Woo!
All right, so who was that who said he's gonna pick DM6? That's Clown. So it looks
Yeah.
like Clown is gonna pick DM6 as his map. And Usurp is in love with you, so he wants you to accept his friend invite so you can have, all kinds of unprintable activities on your
Okay,
chat.
one sec. Friends, invite inbox.
Oh my god, we have some mad shit talk from Nutty Bro on stream in the channel. Or rather, on the server.
I just quit to accept usurp. Oh, I meant, and I love shit talk as well so much.
Anyway.
Okay, usurp has been added and I'm back on the server, so let's see what's going on now.
Alright, we're still waiting on the map picks from these guys. I think Clown picked DM6. We need Ray to pick his own map, which I suspect is going to be DM13, which we're on right now. I think DM13
Wait, I'm not being kicked, am I, by the way?
I don't think so.
Because someone called out to kick 14. I better not be 14, motherfuckers. I'm the co-caster.
You have a special place, my friend.
Yeah, well, Court seems to be really, really raging because... Why? Why was he raging? Because I missed it because I was adding.
I don't know.
Usurp.
I really don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I'm trying to follow the chat. There seems to be massive amounts of shit talk and rage, and people wanting to kick other people, including me.
Oh, wow. People actually wanted to kick you, but not me. Wow.
They like you,
Thank
man.
you.
They're
Thank
all,
you for not picking me.
You're getting massively popular. Soon you're gonna replace me as CSN's official caster.
Well, currently my housemate's understudy for like shoutcasting, so that's quite positive. Yeah, but basically I'm the guy who starts like shoutcasting when Zood is too busy playing Diablo 3. There, I said it. Bam.
And people want to get in cast with us on the stream with us. You know what? If there is actually someone interested in casting / streaming, I would encourage you to try and contact CSN because we'd love to have more people involved in the casting streaming process. And it would be a good time for it as well because next week the CTF Cup I'm actually wanting to play rather than stream. So if you find someone else, you could definitely have an opportunity to stream / cast for CSN. By the way, you should definitely idle the CSN's QUAKELIVE channel on IRC. That's csn.ql on QuakeNet. And we are still in the process of kicking people on the server.
No, they're just kicking Cord once again. It's just the same dude.
I don't know why they're kicking him. Nobody cares. Come on, let's get this show on the road.
And yeah, who keeps skull voting, by the way?
I don't know. I have a feeling it's
Well,
Nutty
Ray is
Bro?
current. No, because he wouldn't be able to call vote because he's in specs, so it's either Clown or Ray. And Ray has actually lost to Cord in the semi-final, so that's the reason he's in the... yeah, it's Ray. I guess he just doesn't want Cord to be present at this particular match because he seems to be mad he's lost, or I don't know the backstory, but he seems to be like call voting quite a lot. And yeah, it's the sort of drama we really could avoid, but it's really, really funny to watch, so yeah, there are positives and negatives. And like, in the meantime, to go off topic from them raging, when looking at Ray's clan tag, I thought, is he related to the European clan called 2K?
I really
There,
don't think so. No.
yeah, but then I realized he's actually like his clan tag stands for high ping raping you, so he's basically saying I have 2 seconds ping or 2000 milliseconds. So yeah, not really. But Clan 2K actually are I would say fairly known because they have people that designed the Purgatory TDM map, and they have had quite a few people covering a lot of ESL and DreamHack tournaments. And we're actually about to start the first game of the first place playoff, Clown versus Ray on DM13. The game is on right now. Wanko, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on Clown, who gets a reasonably good spawn. We are on a pub server, so we're not going to have the timers up again. I think Ray picked up the Mega. It was a little bit late, so the Mega should be about 40 seconds into the game. And an interesting fight with Ray having a rocket launcher and yet taking a lot of damage and eventually going down. I think most of that damage that Clown did was done by grenades, which was really, really odd. But, you know, this is something we mentioned again, these small really corridors on this map, you get some really strange fights in them.
Yeah, well, like another thing I would really love to point out, it's borderline transparent in the professional stages of QuakeLive Duel, but the rage is a massive factor, and we've seen Ray try to call out Cord several times, so he could be quite upset, and it could be affecting him and his judgment. He could be playing either more aggressive and paying for it, or he could actually just like make really wrong decisions, even if they're not too aggressive. I mean, at the moment, that's how it appears to me. He just seems to be maybe upset, maybe disappointed, maybe just borderline down to and it's making him play different and not to his potential best, possibly.
Yeah, certainly advantage Clown, and I think your point very well might be right, because keep in mind that this is Ray's map pick, and this is a map on which Ray is known to play really, really well, but that was a really bad start. We saw some really uncharacteristic aggressive play from Ray, resulting in those frags. And this is going to be 3-0 for Clown, a very early 3-frag advantage, and still have some conversation going on the server, which is really annoying, but we'll try to ignore it as much as possible. But yeah, Clown having a solid map control off the map. Well, map control off the map, that's a really smart term, Michael.
Like, it's cool as long as no one notices, then it's alright. You did the obvious mistake of actually pointing out your own mistakes. And I said mistake twice in one sentence, which is also a mistake in its own. So yeah, mistake. Neither one of us are apologizing though, so it's all good.
Yeah, and Clown has actually quickly extended his lead to 5 frags, and you know, certainly Ray seems to be out of his depth a little bit. Maybe he's annoyed with Cord, maybe he's a little bit raged, or maybe he's just annoyed that he had a start that he didn't really want. Like, that initial fight was really bad for him, so maybe he's disappointed a little bit in that. Either case, he needs to be very careful here, because you know, last time we saw this map, we did say that this is not one of those maps in which quick comebacks are easy. So giving up, giving up 6 frags in a row, even though there is 7 minutes left, is really, really bad for Ray.
Oh yeah, it's
Shady.
like I don't know.
Shady, I sense a rage quit coming very soon.
I was going to say I'm surprised he hasn't rage quit about 2 frags ago. It's possible, and he's actually challenging for the mega health, and nobody knows, including the duelers, when the mega health spawns, because Walter is in the house, by the way.
You know, we should get Walter on the cast with us, if he agrees.
Yeah, Walter, do it, man.
Walter, if you're listening, we want you.
Yeah, no homo. Like, when you say we want you have to add no homo, just in case. Oh, and we might see. Oh shit!
3 health.
No, that should be a rage quit. That definitely should be a rage quit. It's just adding insult to injury right here. Quite possibly Ray is just very, very stressed at the moment, and maybe raged. And well, yeah, please don't chat, dudes. I mean, like, fair enough, it's okay. Wait. What?
Aw, you guys made him leave. He's even quit QUAKELIVE. Oh well.
It was a violent effort, though. This is the fourth time either one of us has used the term violent, like, during this whole the duration of this cup, which is much more often than the one I have to use the term
Oh my god,
violent.
is this going to be the comeback of the day? He's got 9 frags to make up. He's only at the midpoint of the map. He is in control, although he doesn't have a huge stack, and this might just be the end of the comeback right here.
No, it's not. Well, it's possible.
Yeah. Although nicely
wait.
done by Clown, really. He shut it down very, very fast. And even though he doesn't have a huge stack, he's still in a good position. And again, you know, from this point on, as long as Clown does damage before dying, he should be in a decent position.
Yeah, and we have just right now have hit the halfway point. So 80 frags in it. Both players are off the mark. Damage-wise, somewhat even, but map control-wise, Clown is basically in charge so much. I mean, looking at the statistics, Ray has not even had a red armor so far, and just 1 mega. He's leading on the yellows, but well, I would assume because Clown has just been concentrating on timing and controlling the red armor and denying every single one, which is like I would say quite a good tactic, because a red is equal to 2 yellows in layman's terms, and if you add up all together, the map control has been Clown so far. I mean, like 18 armor units and 6 mega health units compared to Ray's 10 armor units and 1 mega health. So yeah, completely behind. And yeah, any sort of comeback has just been shut down by Clown's LG. He's almost fully stacked, and he's
Holy shit, what is he hitting? He's sitting on 36% LG right now. I'm pretty sure that he was sitting close to 80 in that fight.
yeah. If this was Europe and lesser known players, everyone would have been shouting hacks by now.
Unless it was strengths, of course.
Topical humor, I like that.
But yeah, this map seems to be pretty much over. 3.5 minutes, 11 frags to make up. I'm gonna go out on a limb like I usually do and say this is a good game. We are in garbage time, and we're going to go into 27, which I think is going to be the second map. And again, you know, 27 is normally a map on which Ray is really strong on, so I would normally have said he has a good chance, but the sort of mindset that Ray is in right now, you really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if he takes a small break to sort of refresh himself,
Compose himself,
yeah. Then it might be a completely different story altogether. But I feel like if he just goes straight into the map, it's going to be a repeat of DM13.
Mm-hmm. Well, from watching LAN finals at least, like the grand finals, the creme de la crop, the creme de la crop of QUAKELIVE duelers are actually able to completely start on a blank slate on the next map. For example, we've seen I'm trying to think of a good duel final which involves Cooler, Cypher, Rafa.
Well, you could think of the classic example, the QuakeCon, where it was Party versus Rafa. And Rafa came back 3 maps to take that matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't he, like, on the Quake 3 Masters Athens, didn't exactly the same thing happen?
Yeah, I believe something similar happened there as well.
Yeah, that was actually way back in 2008. 4 years ago. It's depressing when you look at the timeline.
It is indeed. You know, I kind of still think of myself as someone who's not too old Quake player-wise. You know, I only started playing Quake in 2006, maybe 2007. But it's depressing to think that that's been, you know, almost 5 years.
Yeah, and, like, we were around in a sort of similar communities as well, because I remember you from CPMA, etc. And I think several others as well on Quake 3.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and we're winding down on this map. There's about a little more than a minute left. The score is going to be
Come on, Ray, you can do it. Come on, Broheim.
14 frags in 1 minute. It's going to be the epic story of the decade, Quake-wise.
Yeah, I mean, like,
1 minute
Any comeback up until now is bullshit compared to this. 14 frags in 54, 53. See his... Oh no, shut down. Okay, yeah, so...
And this is...
yeah,
You know, this
no,
is
go
sort
ahead.
of interesting because I think this is the first time in an actual tournament that I've seen Ray sort of lose his normal attitude, and that certainly interests me a lot. Because Ray's normally a very calm customer. He's a very cool guy who just goes for executing his particular strategy. You don't typically see him rage that much. You don't even typically see him talk about lag or aim or anything like that. So it's really surprising to see Ray sort of give up a map like this, especially one of his favorite maps. So
when I briefly disconnected from the server to add user up to my friends list, what exactly did I miss? Because you mentioned there was a bit of trash talking going on.
I think it was
And
just
when I
Cord coming in talking some trash about someone. I don't even remember seeing anything really pungent. You know, any sort of comment like that specifically aimed at Ray. I don't know. Maybe there was something going on before they joined the server. Maybe they had a conversation in IRC or something. But yeah,
quite possible. Yeah, because otherwise I actually have binds which are more offensive than that. From what I've seen on the server. I mean, and I don't really pride myself on trolling either, or like any sort of offensive comments. I mean, yeah, I've actually like failed to make that build up because, yeah, I did say I have more offensive binds. I do. There's one which says "fuck off, cunt" or some shit like that, and like it's a spamming script as well. I'm actually digging my own grave over here. I'll stop. So DM6, we're about to see Clown versus Ray, and Clown has just won the first map by a heavy margin. Ray might have been a little bit upset, and we're about to see whether he's able to make a comeback or not. First off,
well, he's going to be even more upset from that spawn. That was the worst spawn you can suffer on DM6, and now he's lost both the Mega and the Red. Clown is going to get the rail, and he hasn't even taken any damage.
Not really, he's taking 61 for now. Yeah, I mean, it was very, very unlucky for Ray. I mean, he's done very, very nicely to reach this far in the tournament, and damn, it really has not gone his way. Like on DM13, he was not very calm and collected because of something that Cord might have said. We're not really sure, but I don't know. It really hasn't gone his way, and finally he gets a frag. He survives with just 15 health points.
Yeah.
So let's see if he's able to come back.
Ray himself says LOL because he knows that there's just no way that he should have gotten that frag, so he got extremely lucky. And so Clown has actually given Ray a small chance, a small window of opportunity here. And we don't know when the next Mega is coming up. Presumably neither player knows either because they just seem to be doing some random things at this moment.
Hooray for public service.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's... For some reason I just keep remembering random CPMA Polish goals and respect because like the spawning systems of one has basically been unrespect for Ray. It doesn't get any more unrespect than that. Every single thing is going wrong that should be going neutral is just going wrong. Like from the first spawn of the map, I mean, even the frag he got, it was a surprising turn of events that even Ray was quite weirded out by, as the LOL comment states. So yeah, 2 minutes in, he's 6 frags behind, and Cloud has a very heavy advantage, although Ray does pick up the red armor. But yeah, gets railed while he attempts the rocket jump, and he doesn't stop the rocket jump back, to stop the rocket jump, sorry. And then he was down to 70 health and armor at the same time. And yeah, wow, as VL has just pointed out, that Clown's railgun accuracy after 7 rails still is 100%, and he has just missed his first and second rails.
See,
However,
anytime we start talking about accuracies, they start missing. It's like a direct correlation.
Wait, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong on this fact as well, but isn't Veal the guy who won one of the QuakeCon
No. That's Zeal.
That was Zeal. Z-I-E-L.
Yes. I don't
Sorry,
know who...
very similar text.
I don't know who Veal is.
Well, apparently it's a guy who messes up the railgun accuracy by pronouncing what they are and then making the players miss, even though it's in a duel, so they didn't see. Just the whole concept of Veal. Okay, great, you have the name before him. Cool shit, bro. I'm happy for you.
Not to mention the fact that Zeal has this nickname since Quake World, so he's had that nickname for about 12, maybe 13 years. But okay, we don't care.
Yeah, well, I had my nickname since 1988. I was born with it, man. My first name is Veal, and my second. Quite ironically, we have seen some people like Chance Lacina, or how is it pronounced?
Chance Lacina, I guess? Lacina? I don't know.
Yeah, from North America. And there's Don Cha-Cha. His nickname is Cha-Cha, his surname is Cha-Cha. Like in MK, there's actually a post against reality where we have a guy temporarily joining our playQUAKELIVE TDM squad in 2009. His nickname is Bert, his first name was Bert, and he didn't want his surname announced in against reality as well because he wanted to remain anonymous. So I put him in as Bert.
Hey, we have pummel fights going on in the game.
Nice.
Super exciting. I want to see pummel fights for the remainder of the map. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Really disappointing.
Yeah, wait, I want to speak about Bert some more. If anyone's on the stream or like who's either watching the stream or who is like on the stream and on the server at the same time, you just saw what I wrote for Bert. So it's one step above Chance and Cha-Cha.
Let's take a bet. How high do you think the score is gonna go?
I don't know because there's
I'm gonna say 30.
There's a possibility of Ray rage quitting. And I thought for a
Yeah,
second
but I figure if he hasn't rage quit till this point, there's no reason why he's gonna decide to rage quit, 7 minutes in, as opposed to just 2 minutes in.
I'm gonna say 43.
43? That's a bold prediction, my friend.
Well,
why 43?
Like
is it because it's a prime number or something?
I didn't even realize it was a prime number until you said it. But
it is a prime number.
Ray is just fast forwarding at the moment here. He's giving up all hope. He's just fast forwarding out of perseverance and rage. And see, like Clown was down to a very low health amount, but he's still hitting like those rails and those rails.
The rails.
The Germans are coming. The Germans. So yeah, I have no idea why I said 43. What did you say? 30, right?
30. 30 is my prediction.
So we need to hit 37 for me to win, basically. So just. Wow, whoa, man! It took me like more than 10 seconds to count. 21.
I'm just checking Clown's accuracies. He's sitting on 59% rail, which is pretty solid considering rail is pretty much all he's used this entire game.
Quite ironically, this is exactly the same accuracy he had against Rafa at the end of the game, 59. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I'm not wrong. It's 59%. This is like adding insult to injury, seriously. So. As long as it's 37 or more. Whoa.
Come on, Clown. You gotta stop fragging him. Only get 30 frags, dude. Please.
No, come on, dude. Get some health. No. Yeah. Come on, pick up some health, dude. Yeah, there's the mega health.
Why? Why did the mega have to spawn right then? Why? The world is conspiring against me.
11 more. Oh no, not nice air runs, but yeah. 10, just 10 more. You can do it.
No, Roy, don't go for the rail.
He didn't go. Clown went for the rail.
Oh, Roy is Clown's name, by the way.
Roy, okay. So we have Roy and Ray here.
I know. It's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, like if God was a sarcastic dude, even if you believe in God, some people don't. Like, I don't know. I really don't want to confess to atheism when they're fucking North American stream because people might start hating on me. So did I just out of boredom of the stream? Did I just start discussing religion?
It's
You
it's
guys
it's
should
quite
never
all right because we're talking about random things on stream. I'm checking stream chat and people are having some really random conversations on stream chat about the tournament
just
and the
like
rules of the
us.
tournament and stuff. So I really don't think anybody who's watching actually cares about what we're saying. You know what? Just as a reminder, I do want to remind you that following this game, we are going to have the serious business of the finals. It is going to be Rafa versus Cord,
Yeah, dudes,
and
Rafa's in it. Watch it now.
I know. So,
Well,
just
don't watch it
ignore all
now.
this random conversation going on this particular matchup right now because
Yeah.
it certainly looks like Clown is going to take third place. He's
Uh-huh.
he's also going to win $5. I think. I think the third place prize money is 5. Maybe it's 10. I'm not entirely sure.
Am I the only one who starts like straight away started thinking about the Saki $5 when you said $5? That immediately hit my mind. Full metal jacket. Brilliant film as well.
Brilliant indeed. But yeah, so more important than the $10 obviously is the points that he's going to pick up, which I think Clown needs more than Ray does because Ray's actually placed well in all the 3 tournaments so far. Clown didn't play in the first one, so in that sense, it's good that Clown gets these extra points because he's going to need them to make it to the playoffs. And
Yeah.
we are into the last minute of the semifinal matchup. Clown is leading 28-6, and they've stopped moving. They are stopped moving, Shady. Yeah.
Oh, we're making Quake history at the moment, and who will start moving first? Let's make our bets, and god damn it, Clown. God damn it, dude.
Come on,
Oh,
Clown.
bets
You
are
have
up.
30 seconds.
Clown
Get
started
2 more
moving.
frags. 2 more frags. You got to get me 2 more frags. No.
QuakeHistory.com for all your Quake history needs. Yeah, just 8 more frags in those 20 seconds. Do it. You need some sort of like magic insta-Gabriel that fires at any point in the map and frags the opposite player.
He's got to 30. I am going to win.
Yeah, my prediction of 43 was really half-assed and not based on anything, by the way. But yeah, congratulations on your victory, Wonko, and congrats on your third place, Clown. You really deserved it. That's actually not me trolling or anything. You really did deserve it. A nice performance in both maps. So bad for Ray, but I think I have this theory that maybe he wasn't really raged, but like in between his semi-final and third place playoff, he might have hit some, I don't know, crystal meth, or I don't know what you guys in America do, but something that really affected his performance.
That's an interesting theory. We should ask him if it's true.
Yeah, I mean, crystal meth is like the Breaking Bad, honestly, one of the best TV shows ever. But yeah. Okay, the third place playoff is over. Thank you guys for watching this, and now we actually have the big thing, the grand final. Rafa against the dude beginning with C. Help me out here, one coach. What's his name?
Cord?
Cord, that's the one. Cord, whatever. Close enough. Yeah, Cord versus Rafa, the grand final. This is what we have been waiting here for. And shit, did you just have the mouse stuck again?
Indeed. So I just went ahead and quit Firefox again. I'm going to come back to
Okay.
that in a bit.
Right on. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, I somewhat forgot Cord's name, sorry. For some reason I thought it was Chumbo, or Chumbo. Yeah, man, I'm from Canada, eh? Nutty Bro just asked whether I was Canadian or not. Yeah, dude, I'm from Vancouver. Can you not see by my French accent? Although, in your defense, I did say...
Wait.
Quebec,
Why do you have a French accent if you're from Vancouver? You have a French accent if you're from Montreal.
Okay, I'm from Montreal then. Close enough. What if I'm French Canadian and then I moved to Vancouver? How did that not cross your mind?
Possible. Very possible.
Also, wow, Mello just hit a very nice flick rail on Clown. Fair enough, Clown wasn't moving, but he did a very nice spam rocket that shot Clown into the air, and then 180 flick, bam, and fragged Clown. Too bad it was warm-up and you weren't in a tournament, dude, because that could have... The best frag of the tournament goes to Mello. Right on, dude. Respect.
Walter says he's drinking a mojito just for me. Do you know what? I haven't
Okay.
actually had a mojito since I did on stream. That was almost maybe 6 or 7 months ago now.
Yeah, I remember watching a YouTube video and of someone pasting that shit on IRC, like, yeah, Wonko, like, talking about mojitos, and someone saying, yeah, that's a pussy drink, but I was thinking, no, it's not. It's a cocktail, and it could taste nice. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Like,
Wait, it's like rum and soda and mint, right? That's basically the
yeah, that's
essential
mojito.
ingredient, and then you put some lime in it. I don't really see what's wrong with that. But then again, I'm not particularly biased in any sense in terms of alcohol. So
Mm.
I mean, also I really don't drink that much alcohol.
Uh,
I'm much more of a foodie than into drinking.
oh, you fuck! Did you just use like a hipster term and call yourself a foodie? Because I'm offended on so many levels, dude.
No, I'm not. I
Everybody eats
literally
food.
mean I
You
am.
need to enjoy food to survive food.
I
And yeah,
don't
you might
mean
call
that.
yourself a gourmet or like a food connoisseur, but foodie, dear God,
What's the
this is
difference?
worse than a mojito, man.
Foodie is essentially saying I like food. That's all I mean. Okay.
We all like food. We need that shit to survive.
No, I mean I like food a lot.
Yeah, please point me to someone who doesn't like food a lot.
Do you
Everyone
cook
has a
food?
favorite.
Do you cook food?
Yes, I do cook food.
How
In
much
fact,
do you cook? Do you cook every day?
not every single day, but I do enjoy making a certain set piece meal, for example.
All right, then you should not be laughing at the term foodie.
No, because it sounds so fucking retarded. Okay, like, do you know like what I really like cooking, especially if we have a lot of guests in our house? Like, I make these Milanese steak and steaks, which is basically a type of schnitzel where you have certain lean pork and then you put it in eggs and then breadcrumbs and then just fry them. And at the same time, I'm preparing red mashed potatoes and either asparagus or string beans, and it's quite a nice meal. And I also like enjoy cooking authentic Eastern European food. I enjoy Mediterranean, modern Western European of any sorts, but I would not call myself a foodie.
That's because
Like
you're a
seriously,
douchebag.
I'd rather drink a mojito than be called a foodie.
Oh god, the conversations that we have. By the way, we are on the server, so the password is the same as before. You should be able to join.
Okay, and also by the way, yes, it is not over yet. We're not in garbage time. We're about to see Rafa play. Uh, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna say chord instead of chord. I from Mother Russia. I do not know what chord is. Is chord?
It's Jord.
Chord. Yes.
Do you know
Okay.
I've gotten so far from an Indian accent that I don't think I can even do an Indian accent now. At least not a very good one.
Oh. Mm. Yeah, I think I remember like we were chilling on either the ANK Mumble or the CPMA Mumble a couple of months ago. Like I think Lobster was there, Liam was there, someone else, possibly Reptile, and then you connected and I was like, holy shit, it's Swanko. And the other guys were like, you don't have an Indian accent anymore. And I was like, I don't think I've heard it before, like on voice.com, so I really don't have any point of reference. But I was like, right on.
Yeah,
But
no, I
yeah,
mean, I used
my
to I
like
used to
me
hang
like
out with them on TeamSpeak in the early days. You know, when I started playing CPM,
uh,
those were my first friends, and
uh,
that was probably 1 year after I got to the US. So my Indian accent was probably quite thick back then. And since then, I have a
uh,
tendency to like absorb the accents of people who are around me a lot. So I've picked up a lot of
mhm,
American accents and mannerisms and things like that, which is never, I mean, not always a
mhm.
good thing, but in this case, it's always nice because when you're in America, speaking without an Indian accent is, I guess it's good.
Yeah, I really like don't know because Britain is a lot more varied and there aren't really that many close-knit communities. Like people just live wherever. Like in comparison with all the major American cities, everyone has like a Chinatown, a little Italy. There's a place for ethnic Indians. Who emigrated to live in, etc. But like in more progressive communities, like for example, like in University of Indiana, where I assume you live close around on campus, or at least when you were in doing your masters, right?
Well, I'm not actually at the
So
University of
yeah, it's
Indiana. I go to a university called Purdue. But yeah, we have
that's actually better than the University of Indiana State. Really, I've
for
heard it before.
my field, yes. For my field, actually, Purdue is probably top 4 or 5 in the U.S.
Wow, nice. And your field is, by the way, just yeah, we're just talking before the game starts. And plus, I'm interested in that sort of shit because I really enjoy speaking to people from the academia.
Yeah, I am.
So yeah,
I'm doing a PhD. I'm going to the School of Industrial Engineering at Purdue, although my work is more sort of computer science slash applied math.
oh nice. Yeah, I'm actually going to switch from an engineering-based degree and start all over with a linguistics-based one because I was just like taken away by the world of journalism in the past year, so I've decided to like completely ignore my current professional experience within the engineering industry as a document controller and just go with my gut and completely change sectors and try to do journalism
Well,
and
you gotta do what
literature.
you want to do. I think that's important. You always have to be doing what you like, not
Yeah. Oh,
Clown
by
is
the way,
like
speaking about
Clown is PMing me and saying, if I go to Best Buy and I wear a blue T-shirt, do people confuse me for a
uh,
Best Buy employee? I've never actually had
oh,
that
by the way,
happen.
Wonka was asking. Yeah, yeah. They're also talking about weight loss programs, and I was gonna say just today I started a very new program. It's basically around 3 p.m. I decided to say I'm gonna do this new program. Like every single time I rage, I would do 2 kilometers on one of the hard settings on my exercise bike. Within an hour and a half, I did 5 of those rounds, and I had to abandon that shit. And I never realized that I rage so much about random shit. I mean, like one of those was just based, like even from after a Quake Live duel, which I ended up rage quitting. So yeah.
It's been a while since I've raged really hard in a game. Probably because I don't really duel that much anymore. Because duel is where you tend to rage the most. Because duel is also where you tend to have the most ego invested in the result of the game. At least I feel that way. Obviously, I used to rage big time in pickup CTF games in CPM.
Mhm.
I was a big rager. Those were the fun times. But then I took a break. I went to India and I came back and I just stopped raging.
Uh,
But yeah,
oh wow,
I don't
we're
really
actually
know what
exchanging.
we're
Yeah.
waiting on. We've just had a ready up from Cord, so we should hopefully soon have.
Yeah, well, I think the guys asked Wonko and streamers are you okay, and then like accidentally well, so sorry,
Yeah.
it is. We're actually off. The Emperor T and Rafa is on the upper yellow spawn, or like the non-LG yellow.
Yeah, and
Goes
both
down to get
players,
their red armor.
both players spawned on the center area of the map, and I'm a little surprised that Cord decided to back off into that LG room, which means that he's going to lose out on all the major items. Rafa has the red, the mega, and one of the yellows. The only thing Rafa doesn't have at this point is a lightning gun, which is he's going to go to pick up immediately. And Cord is actually not going to have the time on the red and the mega, so Cord is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He did have position on the center area of the map.
Very nice rockets.
Yeah, nice rockets, but again, Rafa being a fast master at positioning, he's given up that red, but he's got control of the center area of the map, which is what's important, and he has timing on the mega, which Cord doesn't. However, Cord does have good positioning on it, so Rafa might be forced to back away.
Oh. Yeah, quite a few spam plasmas.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was accidental or not,
Cord
but
like just escapes with very low health.
I know, but Cord I feel like Cord should have gone down there and died, but he got kind of lucky. Either he was lucky or his dodging was just really good, so because Rafa's rockets didn't land as much damage as it normally would have done. Oh, nice shaft work from Rafa though, so Cord should once again be really weak. Yeah, and one rocket.
Oh, there we go. Although in Rafa's defense, he was down to around 90 health and alpha points before he picked up that mega. But he seems to be firmly in control after 100 seconds. Although with 85 seconds after the start, it was all even, and you couldn't really predict what would happen next. But like his experience has shined through, and he has ended up getting 2 frags. An easy defensive rocket in the mega health area and then a conversion kill. So yeah, Cord is it's going to be very hard for him to counter-attack, especially against a very experienced dealer. So, we'll see what sort of if he can amaze us in some way or another. But yeah, Rafa is in the driving seat over here already after 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm going to switch over to Cord and decide what sort of strategy he's decided to use in this out-of-control position. Because obviously he's going to be on the back foot, and he's going to need to be creative, because Rafa, we know, is one of those players who his positioning skills on this map are just, really, really difficult to combat.
Yeah. Yeah, building up. Yes, they are. I think I remember him watching some sort of cast of him explaining how he and Cooler played on this map. I mean, if you're able to beat Cooler on this map, then you're able to beat anybody on this map, because Cooler has also shown really good control work in here, just as Rafa has.
And so, I feel like Cooler, the way these two players play, I mean, as you said, Cooler and Rafa are two top players on this map, but they play it in certain different styles. Like, Cooler is one of those players who just runs all the items. Like, he gets into a rhythm, and he just takes every single item over and over. While Rafa, on the other hand, his style is a little bit different. He'll quite often leave items up in favor of setting traps.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He plays the opponent rather than the map, as opposed to a Cooler being able to just control every single item, major or minor, even against world-class opponents, such as Cypher, for example. I think I remember watching a final of one of the ESL World Cups, I don't remember which one, and he basically denied Cypher every single item, and he even didn't give away a single frag on the whole map. I mean, against Cypher, you really have to give kudos. So yeah, it's completely different styles, but when they play against each other, though, I would say it's more of a mix of them trying to adapt to the other player, and it doesn't not very seeming as obvious as it would have. Like, a Cooler might try to bait and even leave him yellow armor, and I'll stop talking now because I lost my train of thought. Sorry, too much beer.
It's alright. The score is 5-0. We're about halfway through the map, and so far Rafa simply has not given a single indication of giving up his control on the map. And he's delaying that red. He knows that as long as he maintains position on the center area of the map, there's really nothing the court can do to challenge for that red or the mega, so he feels like he can leave that red up as long as he needs to and pick it up comfortably. Although, having said that, he has given up the mega, which is a little bit of a mistake, and now he's in a position where he's most likely going to give up a frag. It's a question of where he's going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, really great defensive plasma work by him. Rafa was down to only 26 health points. I mean, even now, a direct rocket would have, if not finished him by this stage, it would have really made him uncomfortable. Well, yeah, he's after that he's picked up a lot of shards and health points, so he's back into the more or less comfort zone. But I don't know. I'm going to cheer for, hope he at least gets consolation frag before the map is over, because that would really do credit for him. And this was this Cord's pick or Rapid's pick, by the way?
I think this is Rapid's pick. And you gotta remember as well that the final is going to be a best of 5, so we are going to see at least a minimum of 3 maps.
Yeah, don't you mean maximum of 3 maps?
No, I'm still hopeful, I'm optimistic,
Yeah, I mean, if anyone would have had a chance, it would have been Clown on T4, because he was, at least in my opinion. I mean, it's good to remain hopeful and optimistic, but I really don't see it. I mean, no offense to Short. It wasn't meant to be like this. I was just trying to make a pun on my previous inability to remember his name. But yeah, I don't think Short would be able to make a comeback of some sort, or even take a map of Rafa. I mean, it's possible, and it's great to cheer on the underdog, but I don't think it will happen. At the moment, Rafa's got a perfect timing on both Mega and the red armor. He's even delaying the Mega just to mess with Quartz mindset a little bit. And yeah, it's fairly... Wait, did my mom crash back again?
No, I'm here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know, I'm just observing the game. There's really, nothing much to talk about. Rafa's just maintaining solid control of the map. He's not giving up too many of those major items. And Cord, he's just not managing to do any damage onto Rafa. All the fights that have happened, Rafa has decided when and where they're going to happen. And as long as you let Rafa do that, you really have no chance of making a comeback at all.
Unless you have aimbot, but even when you have aimbot, well, by the way, it's also another Russian thing. Like, instead of aimbot, it's the aimbot, which is, I find quite funny. Well, at least I think it's very funny for me to laugh at people who are less educated in the English language when they come from Russia. Like, yes, anyways, unless you have a but you still would be struggling against Russia. I mean, they have been demos of known cheaters, or even random aimbotters, losing against experienced duelers because they just had no control. And having said that, Cord rage quits the first map 7-0.
No. Henceforth,
not rage quits.
Henceforth, we will say Chord and we will say aimbot.
Okay.
By royal decree from His Highness Wonko the Sane.
Yeah, I agree with Chord and aimbot. I was saying all the time anyway. But yeah, go Chord, he rage quits 7-0. And ZTN, quite an interesting map pick, but as you mentioned earlier, no matter what part of Quake or even QUAKELIVE or Quake you're from, what country, what particular continent, ZTN is a fairly popular map. So I assume Cord is more familiar with it.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of choosing the lesser of the evils.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no inferior map pick as far as Rafa is concerned, so this might just be Cord's way of saying, this is the map that I'm most comfortable on. Off the spawn, I'm following Rafa, who gets the lower yellow as well as the mega. He's going to make the other yellow as well, so Cord, he got the red, so he should be in a decent position. Let's switch over to Cord and see what he's going to do. And he's right now just picking up all the weapons. He's got a lightning gun. He doesn't have a rail, though, which is, I feel like he needs a rail. Oh, wow.
They have a unnecessary confrontation down at the Mega Health Corridor.
Yeah, that was...
the Mega wasn't going to spread. It's spawn for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, and again, that confrontation is, Cord was the one person who got the disadvantageous side of that confrontation because he started with the lower stack in the first place.
Yeah.
And so now he's given up the red and the mega both to Rafa. Rafa's also found him out. Rafa knows exactly where he is. And, it's going to be like one of those maps where Rafa's just going to start choking the different items.
Well, very nice prediction, by the way. He looked down and Cord was trying to set an elaborate trap. It was very nice work by Rafa. Although his stack is down to 54 from 350, so I mean, Cord did a fair amount of damage, but against a player of Rafa's caliber, it just wasn't meant to be. He even knew how to glance down at the yellow armor, just in case someone might be setting a trap. So very nice judgment by Rafa, and 1-0 in the lead with 90 seconds gone.
Yeah, 90 seconds gone, one frag advantage for Rafa, and Rafa once again is being really careful. He knows that Cord, the only thing he can do at this point is try to sneak around the map, not making any noise. So Rafa really doesn't want to run into Cord and have him taken by surprise. So intelligent play by Rafa, as you'd normally expect as well.
Yeah. 4 steps ahead, as I believe the popular quote goes.
Yeah, and the other thing is, normally if a player's in this position, they'd really start pushing for a frag. But, Rafa being Rafa, he's going to stay patient. He knows that right now he just doesn't need to force the issue. Although he did give up that mega, but it's still not probably a big deal for him.
Ooh, nice work by Chord, by the way, but not enough to frag Rafa. Once again, deals his fair amount of damage, but comes out as loser in the end. And also by 9x.
Yeah, and it was an interesting thought there, trying to rocket jump up to the grenade, and I think it might have taken another player by surprise, but just Rafa was really ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, he knew to expect something, but I would have think maybe he would try a chain of rocket jumps, as unfortunate as that would be, especially not unfortunate, but more as unprofessional that would be against a good defensive dueler. But he decided to attack instead, and Rafa was ready for him.
And once again, Rafa tried to hunt Chord down, before
Sure,
picking
yeah,
up that
don't forget.
red armor, and as a result, he's put a significant delay on the red armor as well. So I have a feeling like Chord does not have timing on it. He's gonna get caught out here by Rafa. This should be another frag. He's gonna be really fortunate to escape through that teleport before he gave up that frag. And Rafa is going to leave that Mega up. He's probably going to go for this red. He knows that he can make his way back to the Mega in plenty of time. And delays picking it up as much as he can. And really, at this point, what can Chord do that, you know, he's not doing other than just, you know, hitting a lot of really good rail shots? I feel like that's pretty much his only way back into the map, because I really don't think Rafa's going to make a mistake of any kind.
He did jump down there, but Chord was really ready because he didn't have his LG out and so far. I would have to say, at least in Chord's defense, he's doing a very, very large amount of damage. I mean, his aim has been very, very nice. I mean, he's actually out-shafting Rafa as great as it sounds for him. But he's just like Rafa. He's doing a much better job of controlling the map because he is obviously the much more experienced dueler. So he's 3 frags down, but he's fighting for every single map. Sorry, for every single frag. I mean, damage-wise, they're doing very, very close. But obviously, this isn't just a clan arena clone. It's more dependent on people's ability to adapt to the situations, the players, the maps, and the control that they're able to govern in order to either surprise or thwart the opposing player. And Rafa is the king at that. I honestly would not be able to picture another player, whether European, North American, Australian, South American, or anything.
That was a really good fight for Chord. He almost managed to take Rafa down. Chord, yeah. The only thing that saved Rafa was a 50 bubble, but obviously, you know, backing into that 50 bubble was not something that happened by coincidence. Rafa positioned himself very carefully.
Damage-wise, I'm gonna stop saying Chord because it's no longer funny. Yeah, Chord is still doing, like, he's doing damage-wise as good as Rafa, but item-wise, he is far behind. And also, by the way, I have to correct myself from the very start of the stream when I said, Chord is more more comfortable with this map than Rafa. I actually nearly said that. I thankfully stopped when I said Rafa. But what I was actually trying to say, that Chord is more comfortable at this map than at DM13, not than Rafa, because that's just fucking retarded. If I said Chord knows this map better than Rafa.
It would have been a little bit. And Rafa, once again, he's setting himself up for the Mega. He needs to be careful not to walk into those grenades. We saw in an earlier map Rafa taking a lot of damage from grenades at red at the Mega Health, so he's being very careful about that. And even decides that he'd rather go for the red and push Chord off of that than take the Mega, you know, as early as he can. And he does take a little bit of rail damage for his troubles, but he should still be in a good position to take the red. But now, though, he's really weak. One more
Chord
rail would have...
rails. Wow.
Finally, all that damage that Chord is doing pays off, even though it was a mutual frag. He gets a good spawn and he finds another frag. So, you know, there's only 3 frags in it, which is a surprising thing, considering Rafa's been in control for so long. So, Chord definitely in with a chance on ZTN. One more rail could have done it, but decides that staying around is not a risk worth taking. He's going to go for the red and sort of bring it all back to square zero, start off from the beginning again.
Rafa is more fortunate. Well, not fortunate because he planned it, but he is he's the better off player at the moment because he's got both the yellow armor and the mega health. However, Chord is hitting quite a lot of LG. He really needs to back away at this point because he's railable and Rafa does have a rail. But it's all. I would say unpredictable because I would really love to see an upset because I'm always supporting the underdog. But yeah, I would love to see how this pans out.
And again, he's doing a reasonably good amount of damage. He's just not able to make that final conversion into a frag. And switching over to Rafa, Rafa's actually sitting on a reasonably comfortable stack. Doesn't have too much armor, but you know certainly has the advantage from that mega health.
Yeah,
that was a bit of a bad miss there from Rafa because he's trying to spam that red armor spot and managed to somehow miss Chord.
and gets railed once again, so Rafa could potentially be, well, could have been fragged. Wow, Cord actually predicts where he might see Rafa, tries to hit like a rail, but backs away immediately, which it was the meaningful and right thing to do, because it could have ended very badly for him. Oh, and like, I don't know, I mean, 2 minutes to go, 3 frags against Rafa. Not gonna happen, but
Yeah.
we'd love to see it happen.
And Cord, you know, at some point he has to decide to make a really risky play. It's something like a do or die situation where he either decides, you know, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to get a frag, and if I get a frag, I can maybe make something happen, or it's just not going to happen for me on this particular map. And I feel like that point is coming soon. You know, he needs to obviously build a little bit higher stack, possibly get another yellow before he makes that decision, but right now Rafa's not even allowing him to do that, because even going for that yellow is really dangerous. Just managed to steal the red, so that's good for him. And he should get this 50 bubble, and then the next opportunity he should take a fight with Rafa. And he needs to take this fight, yeah. Almost, oh my god, one more.
Wow.
A little more damage and that would have been that. Switching over to Rafa, he's only got 100 health, and finally,
And
that's a good game, really.
Yeah, GG. But yeah, so I have to say, good game all around, because not only Cord did a very fair amount of damage, but even when out of control, he was able to still, like, it was like a win for Rafa, but by no means was it a favor, like it wasn't a breeze through. Like, Rafa had to work for every single frag, and he played against an opponent who was who deserves to be in a final, basically, just based on how he played and
yeah.
What happened in the map. So
yeah, so the map score now is 2-0 in favor of Rafa, and this could possibly be the last map of the night, the last map of this particular playQUAKELIVE Points Cup number 3, and the map is going to be DM6. We did see Cord beat Ray on this, if I remember right, and that was a reasonably good game. I think he dominated Ray. But having said that, Rafa obviously is in a different class by himself, so it's...
Yeah, I was about to say, in comparison, we also saw Rafa beat Clown in this map.
Exactly.
If that's important, yeah.
Yeah, so it remains to be seen whether Rafa is going to dominate Cord like he did on ZTN and DM13. Well, not dominate so much, but still a fairly convincing defeat.
Oh yeah, by the way, Rafa like immediately gets the LG spawn, picks up the Mega Health straight away, and is just over a bridge at the moment, and yeah, they are aware of each other's presence up on the top tier by the rocket launcher.
You can see the importance that Rafa puts on the railgun, because, you know, normally people see, you know, they get the LG spawn, they get the Mega, and then they go for the yellow armor. Rafa decides he doesn't even want the yellow armor. What he wants is the railgun, and more importantly, what he wants is to keep the railgun out of Cord's hands. So you can straight away see the sort of decision making that Rafa does, which is in some sense contrasting with, you know, decision making from a sort of a mid-tier player.
Yeah, by the way, I was about to say, just for the fun of it, considering this probably will be the last map, let's try to cast it like we're like watching two random players like who are unknown. Like let's pretend that like this isn't Rafa playing, but this is Cord playing against, for example, someone like Clown, who's also good but on Cord's level. So let's pretend like both players are on the same level. So we'll just for the hell of it, basically. If you get my drift.
I see what you're saying. And Rafa getting the Mega Health, and he's got timing on the red as well. But the thing is, both players have rails, so if Cord can manage to land a couple of rails, he should be in a decent position. But going up this jump pad to get this yellow would be suicide. And Rafa once again rightly just dropping down and finishing him off. So 1-0 lead for Rafa in the early stages of this possibly final map in this tournament, and Rafa once again denying that rail to Cord, which, as we said, is really important.
Yeah.
And you know, as you quite rightly pointed out, rail is almost as important as a Mega or red on this map.
Well, I said on T4, and I didn't mention red. I mentioned that it's more important than yellows or megas on T4. But yeah, it's basically a exactly the sort of train of thought that could relate to this as well. Railgun could be very important, as much as a power up, because you're able to land those long distance shots, and then your enemy could be thwarted and decide to no longer attack because they just lost 80 health and armor in total. And yeah, see, Cord's lack of railgun actually shows when he was just trying to stand there with a plasma gun. while Rafa jumped up from the lower tier after picking up the shards, and a railgun really could have helped him because then Rafa would have fell back down again. But
He did finally
no.
pick up a rail though, and Rafa was trying to set a trap around that railgun, hoping to hit some exit damage. Didn't manage to do so. Does manage to hit a rail at the yellow, so that should leave him in a very strong position for the red. And another nice anticipatory rail from Rafa. That's 3 rails in a row, landing him the frag, extending his lead to 2 frags, and he gets a conversion as well. So.
Oh, nice. So yeah, all in all, Rafa 3 frags in the lead. We'll see how the game pans out. I mean, on GTN we have seen both players exchanging a fair amount of damage, but I would say Rafa is showing a predisposition to play stronger on DM6, and the damage shows it, with more than 1k damage from Rafa and only 300 from Cord at the moment. So
yeah, I think the significant difference is that on ZTN it's slightly easier to run the map. You know, it's because you also have 2 yellow armors as opposed to just 1. It's also slightly easier to build a reasonably good stack. But this is one of those maps where just going for that yellow, because the yellow is in such a vulnerable spot, you have to go up a jump pad to get it, and you're always risking a rail from the rocket launcher side. So it's a lot, you know, it's a lot more difficult for the out of control player to mount any sort of serious challenge.
yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I personally dislike this map, but it's also a reason why a player would, whoever would really like to learn map control, this is the map to do it, simply because there are only 3 items, and you would be able to practice A, map control, and B, being out of map control, and still learning how to play defensive enough up until the point you are strong enough to counterattack, which is proving hard for Cord, but Rafa is doing his best to just, you know, get that every single power-up item like red mega and yellow armor, and statistically it shows. He's got 7 reds to Cord's 3, mega health, 7 mega health for him, 1 for Cord, and yellow armor has actually been completely neglected by Rafa, because he has actually preferred to take control of the yellow arm, the railgun, which is as you said, it could be like very, very important, even more important than the yellow armor.
Yeah,
and
Cord, this is something
connects.
we've seen over and over. DM6, just one of those maps where forfeits is really, really common. Cord just says he's had enough. This is the last map. He'd just forfeit rather than play it out. And that's going to be GG's. 6-0 is the final score on DM6 on the final map between Rafa and Cord in the grand finals of the playQUAKELIVE. Points Cup number 3, Rafa taking the victory home and earning himself a lot of points, as well as, I believe, maybe $60 in prize money, unless I'm mistaken. It might be 50, I don't know.
Holy shit, nice. Now he can buy Diablo free!
I know!
And yeah, and how many ranking points does first place get, by the way?
I should know, but I don't. I think it's somewhere around maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah, that's fairly nice. I thought more like 800 or something, but I guess it's more like how much points a winner might get in, for example, Formula 1.
Yeah. maybe you should tell CSN that, you know, it doesn't look good if you only get 3 points per match. Maybe you should make it 3 million points per match, man. So even people who've only won like 1 match, they could say, I won 5 million points in the tournament. It's so awesome.
Alright, also, like, someone named Nutty Bro, about 20 minutes ago on IRC said, Shady, help, I want to come cast, come on. Sorry, I didn't have my IRC on, sorry dude.
Listen, I talked to him, so the reason I wanted him to come and cast, the reason I didn't was because the two of us already were, you know, we were a crowd. We were talking a lot. We were having trouble
More
staying
than the
on
average
topic. Yeah, and 3 guys probably would not have helped. So, yeah, certainly something to keep in mind for later. Maybe we will have him on for later cups. He is certainly a font of knowledge. He has lots of information at his fingertips. So
yeah, nice. Well, I probably wouldn't be like available for later cups, although summer is coming, so I might be staying like up later, even on weekdays, etc. So we'll see. I certainly enjoyed this experience, and I enjoyed a lot learning about the North American community. So thanks for letting me come and stream, Wonko. Thanks for CSN for sponsoring this great event. And
Hey, you stole all my lines, man. I was the one supposed to do the conclusion. Damn it.
Sorry, bro.
Anyways, yeah, he pretty much
Apologize.
he pretty much said all I wanted to say. The only thing I do want to remind everyone is that next week we are coming back with the Naked CTF tournament, and I've just been told by the CSN admins that the number of signups has gone up to 8 teams so far. You still have plenty of time left to sign up for the tournament. It is a CTF tournament. You can check out cyber-sports.net for all the rules and the map pools and things like that. It's also up on ES Reality. If you want to play, go ahead and sign up on the website. And then we are going to come back with the playQUAKELIVE Points Cup number 4, the final Points Cup on the Sunday after next, which I think is going to be June 3rd. And then the finals, the playoffs, etc., will be announced later on, the schedule for that. So go ahead and follow CyberSportsNet, the website, and Twitter and stuff, so you can keep yourself updated with the latest news. I also want to throw a huge shout out to the sponsors once again. Solar Gaming League, their website is at solargamingleague.com, and also twitch.tv. Lots of shout outs and love to them for supporting Quake Live tournaments in North America especially. And obviously, thanks Shady for jumping on stream with me. I really enjoyed it, especially because, as I said, I was feeling a little sick, so talking by myself would not have been fun at all. So it's been a great experience casting with you. And that's about it from us, from Cybersports Network, as well as myself, Wonko, and Shady. It's been a pleasure doing this tournament, and we will see you again next week. Yeah.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.